I used to believe I understood the rhythm of humanity. A simple equation, input-output prediction. With the neural implant, I could track the micro-expressions, the subtle shifts in tone, the almost invisible tells that betray our true intentions. I could predict reactions, anticipate desires, and mold outcomes to my will. It was intoxicating, this power. The world, once a chaotic storm of human variables, became a chessboard. My work in predictive algorithms made me a star. Boardrooms filled with eager faces hung on my every word. Politicians sought my counsel, my ability to gauge public sentiment invaluable. Fortunes were made, elections won, all riding on my understanding of the human algorithm. I had it all: the success, the influence, the cold, hard certainty that comes with control. Yet somewhere in the pursuit of perfect prediction, I lost sight of the human element. The very thing I sought to control slipped through my fingers. I could map their desires, their fears, but I no longer recognized the language of genuine connection. My personal life became a testament to calculated efficiency. Dates were no longer about chance encounters, messy and unpredictable. I knew what they wanted to hear, how to elicit the desired response. Love, or at least its convincing facsimile, was easily obtained. But it was a hollow victory. The thrill of the unknown, the joy of genuine discovery was absent. My friends, carefully curated for compatibility, became an echo chamber of my own making. Disagreement, once a catalyst for growth, was swiftly neutralized. Why invite conflict when you can predict and circumvent it? My world shrank, the edges blurring into a seamless, controlled existence. But in this sterile environment, a seed of unease began to grow. The faces around me, though familiar, seemed distant, their expressions carefully constructed masks. Were they too manipulating, calculating, predicting? The thought sent a chill down my spine. Was this the world I had created, a world devoid of authenticity, of the messy, unpredictable beauty of genuine human interaction? Doubt crept in like a virus. The laughter of my friends felt hollow, their compliments lacking weight. Even intimacy felt like a choreographed dance, every move anticipated, every response preordained. The spontaneity, the spark of genuine connection was missing. I began to notice the silences between the words, the forced smiles, the way their eyes darted to my implant, a silent question in their gaze. Were they afraid of me? Or were they like me? Simply going through the motions, their humanity slowly being eroded by the allure of control. The realization hit me like a physical blow. I had become a prisoner of my own creation, trapped in a gilded cage of my own design. The world I had built, so ordered, so predictable, had become a suffocating vacuum. The silence of my apartment was deafening. Once it had been a sanctuary, a place of calculated calm. Now it felt like a tomb, each carefully curated object a testament to my isolation. I had everything I thought I'd ever wanted, yet I had never felt so utterly alone. The faces of the people I had manipulated, controlled, and ultimately pushed away haunted my dreams. Their suppressed anger, their hurt, their quiet resignation echoed in the cavernous spaces of my carefully controlled life. The cost of control, I realized with a growing sense of dread, was connection aim. It was the loss of trust, the absence of spontaneity, the slow death of empathy turn. I saw now the emptiness in my pursuit of perfection. The algorithm, for all its predictive power, could not account for the unpredictable beauty of the human spirit. It could not replicate the joy of a genuine laugh, the warmth of an unexpected embrace, the raw, messy beauty of authentic human connection. The decision, once made, brought a strange sense of relief. The removal procedure was quick, almost painless. Yet as the implant came out, I felt a weight lift, a sudden rush of unfiltered emotions flooding my senses. Fear, doubt, regret, but also a glimmer of hope, a flicker of something akin to excitement. The world, once predictable and controlled, now seemed chaotic, unpredictable, terrifying, but it was also exhilarating. The faces on the street, no longer data points in my intricate algorithm, became individuals again, each with their own story, their own unique rhythm. I had no idea what the future held, but for the first time in a long time, I felt truly alive. The journey back from the abyss of control was not easy. There were moments of crippling doubt, pangs of regret for the connections lost, the bridges burned. The world, once so easily manipulated, now felt like an obstacle course. I stumbled, I faltered, I made mistakes. But with each misstep, with each awkward interaction, I felt a part of myself coming back online. The world felt sharper, more vibrant. The laughter of children playing in the park, the smell of rain on asphalt, the warmth of the sun on my skin, all these sensations, once muted by the implant, now resonated with a startling intensity. I had traded the cold certainty of control for the chaotic beauty of the human experience, and I wouldn't have it any other way. There will always be a part of me, I suspect, that is drawn to the allure of control, to the seductive promise of certainty, but I have glimpsed the other side, the emptiness that lies at the end of that path, and I have learned that sometimes the greatest risk we can take is surrendering to the unknown, to the messy, unpredictable beauty of being human. I still work with algorithms, but now I approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism and a newfound respect for the human element. The algorithms can provide insights, can help us understand the patterns, but they can never fully capture the essence of what it means to be human. The choice, I believe, is ours to make. We can choose to be slaves to our algorithm, to live in a world of our own making, predictable and controlled, or we can choose to embrace the chaos, to revel in the uncertainty. To live lives that are messy, unpredictable, and ultimately far more meaningful because of it. The cost of control is high, perhaps too high. It is the price of our humanity, and that is a price I am no longer willing to pay. This was a narrative rush. Stories that hit before your break's over. You can predict the future all you want, but you'll never see loneliness coming. It's the paradox of our hyper-connected world. We've built systems to anticipate our every need, algorithms to predict our every desire. Yet, in all this precision, all this certainty, there's one thing the algorithms can't foresee: the quiet ache of solitude. Loneliness doesn't announce itself. It creeps in unnoticed, nestling between the cracks of our curated life. We scroll endlessly, seeking connection in a sea of faces and voices, but finding only echoes of what once felt real. Perhaps that's the ultimate lesson. No algorithm can replace the touch of a hand, the warmth of a smile, or the sound of a genuine laugh. But it's not in the data. It's in the spaces between the data now. So maybe the future isn't about predicting what's next. Maybe it's about embracing what's now. Looking up from the screen, reaching out, not through a device, but through a gesture, a word, a moment. Because in the end, the greatest algorithm we'll ever encounter is the one that connects us to each other. Fade out with soft music.